So as much as we want to drive customers to self-serve, right, because it is faster and you do have that opportunity to build expertise, there are scenarios where customers will need to submit a case. And in those scenarios, what we ultimately want to have happen is a seamless handoff between whatever the customer's done within that self-service experience to the actual support engineer that will ultimately help that customer. Now, previously, before some of the changes that we made through the help of Coveo, that experience was very frustrating for customers for really two reasons. One, and this goes back to the deflection piece that I mentioned earlier, we had multiple screens of self-service options that we put in the way of customers before they could actually access their case form. So the scenario being, I'm a customer, I actually now need to create a case. You had to jump through multiple hoops in order to just get to that case form. Customers were frustrated, they tended to abandon that experience, and as a result, they'd go back to their account execs or success managers and tell them how bad that experience was. Even still, once customers got to the case submission form, they were presented with anywhere from 15 to 20 different required fields for most cases that did not require even half of that. And so again, customer frustration was paramount because I'm having to fill in all these fields that ultimately aren't relevant to my case. And again, we saw huge abandonment rates, low CSATs as part of that experience, and it was something that we needed to change to facilitate easier case submission and also just a smoother experience for customers as they were coming into our help portal. So why was it important to improve this experience? Well, for one, we wanted to ensure that when our customers needed help, they got it, right? So if it wasn't going to be self-service, we wanted to ensure that they had easy access to those assisted support engineers when they needed it. The key for us, however, is when customers did reach that case form and ultimately submit the case, we saw a problem on the back end where nearly 20% of those cases were misrouted given the complexity of the form that we presented to customers. In addition to all the required fields that we had, customers actually had to manually select which product they had the issue with, as well as a specific topic. And if you look at the ecosystem of Salesforce products and the sub-ecosystem of all the different topics and features that are associated with those products, that is essentially like finding a needle in a haystack when a customer is just trying to get a case submitted. And so we ultimately needed to make that experience easier because what ultimately happens with higher reroutes is it's longer wait times, you have to deal with multiple assisted support engineers, and ultimately customers get frustrated because their issue takes a while to get resolved.